Welcome, Commanders, to a tactical strategic replay where the main focus is going to be on the back line. And as you can see, there's going to be some moments later on in the video, so definitely stay tuned for that. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, because a lot of you haven't did that. So go ahead and do it real quick. And we're just going to speed along here. Because Hey, Commanders. Hey, it's me, Derrmyster. And I just got home. But I want to add this in real quick, just because the video kind of just slugs along a little bit. I was recording at like 7 in the morning for no reason, just to do it, just to get it out of the way. I really want to get the upload going, but the video just kind of explains how I was feeling at the time to try and get it done. So I actually made a list. Yeah, a list for you guys. So it pretty much covers exactly why the back line is pretty good, justifies the thumbnail, and gets it out of the way, so you don't have to actually watch the whole thing if you don't want to, or if you just want to see the content, help my hit the mic, help my retention rate or whatever it is, throughout the whole video. If you want to help out with that, you can watch the game, enjoy. If you're just like me so far, then hey, hit subscribe and hit the like button as well. Cool. Now I'm just gonna get this out of the way, this list out of the way real quick, because I gotta make dinner and drink a little bit of whiskey or something. I don't know, whatever beverage I'm feeling at the time. If you know what I'm saying, my drink. Oh, hit the mic again. Sorry guys, sorry. Okay, so first things first. Oh, I'm also not gonna type this out, but you could go in the video. There's like a little thing down there. You can hit slow, rewind down there. You know what I'm talking about. You've been probably on YouTube long enough to know. If you don't, hey, now you know. Keep hitting the mic. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. But number one, have a set number of energy suppliers. Probably 31. I think that's the usual consensus. 30, 20, somewhere like that. Have a number that you're trying to hit. That way your constructor bots actually have something to do if you're using those, or if you're using your commander, since they're not worth as much anymore since an update a little bit ago. You can have your commander do it, you can have your constructors do it. Either way, it doesn't matter. If you're going air in the back line, T1 scouts for intel. You need to actually get your scouts going. That's also part of the job for air. That's the air's job. So if you're an air player, that's your job to do actually some scouting. I actually did it in the game, but I don't think I actually recorded it. Like, again, I was like so tired. 7 a.m. 2 to 4 constructor towers. At that point, it's the beginning. You don't need a lot. Don't overdo it. You really don't need a lot. T1 spam fighters and about 2 gunships on repeat. Yeah, just get them going. T1 gunfires. That's also part of another thing in the update. Some lobbies may have to enable it, but yeah, T1 fighters, they can shoot the ground units, so they can do a lot. They can do a lot while on patrol back and forth. While on patrol. Energy converters. 1 to 5, I think, for the turbines. So 1 turbine equals 5 converters, or 5 converters equals 1 turbine. Honestly, I don't know. I'm not sure the exact number on that one, exactly as to how that would go for how many is each. You take that with a little bit of a grain of salt. But upgrade your metal extractors. Duh, you gotta upgrade them. You finished everything else. You're done. You've done your job. Now all you have to do, right, is just upgrade those metal extractors now. Huh? Easy enough, right? Let's see. Fusion reactors. Get to fusion. Obviously. APHIS before 12 minutes. Usually after you get your fusion, you don't need the turbines either. I think I put that afterwards. Yeah, reclaim turbines and energy after fusion, because you don't need them anymore. That's what the fusion is for. You can get rid of all of them, get your metal back. You're in the back line. You're not going to have much metal. Okay, cool. Alright, now next up is energy storage. You only need about 1 to 2 maybe in the beginning. Well, mid-beginning, because we're past the 12-minute mark now. That's something you should be aiming for in the video. It took me forever. That's why I'm like, it's a little bit ago. I'm not as... like, I'm actually skilled at the game. Not as skilled as I was. I try though. I try to do certain things at certain times to, to get there, get a little bit better as I go along. Not really a try hard or a sweat here. This is for average people, you and me, average players. We're not trying to sweat or anything. Doesn't matter to us. We're just here to have a good time. Another anti-nukes around 13 minutes. You should have anti-nukes and a nuke. Like what are you doing? Seriously, you should have one by this point. If you don't, that's I feel like that's just your fault. If you get nuked, because after 13 minutes, you have the power, you have the metal. I mean, hey, just get it out the way. Just get it out the way. T2 fighter spam plus bombers. I feel like at that point, gunships really aren't necessary. Everything has a lot of health. You can get T2 gunships, but with T2 fighters, you might as well just go for all fighters at that point, just to shoot them down. Help your team out. Again, keep the T1 spam going. That's in the later notes, I think. Do I have that? I don't have that. But keep that in there. Keep that in there. You need it. It's part of my list. Write it down. Rewind it if you need to. T1 fighters, T2 fighters, and bombers. That's what you're gonna need mid to late game. You're not gonna need anything else if you're the air player. Cool. All right. 3 to 4 APHIS and I think it's 4 energy converters for 1 APHIS. So if you have 3, you're going to need 12. If you have 4, when it comes to the math, right? Now let me stop. Oh, gee. But you literally basic math stuff like that. Literally just go and then you got it with 4 and 1, 4 to 1, 4 to 1, 4 to 1. It's that simple. You can just keep it going on repeat yourself if you really get to that point in the game. But by now, it's probably like 30 minutes, 20 something minutes plus. The game is going on. The front line's tired. They're probably like, oh my gosh, keep going back and forth. I'm sure they're clicking fingers. They're clicking fingers are not up to par to actually keep going with this because they're tired. And finally, have fun. Literally, have fun, guys. Seriously. Not that I'm leaving have fun. I mean, like, have fun at the end of the game. Average players, me and you, we're not trying to sweat here. We're just having fun. Build a Ragnarok, or a lol cannon, as it's also called. T3 spam. Get a bunch of T3 units out there. I like, hey, why not? Shoot, just have fun. Break the front line. Literally, that was part of it. Break the front line. Yeah, break the front line, and that way, you finish the game that way. But, the other side is thinking the same thing already. They might already have T3 units out there, but you're a air player. But that doesn't mean, the air kind of does itself. Once you put it on patrol and your units are doing it on their own, you can focus on other things. 3 to 4 APHIS, energy converters, you're good to go. Help out the front line to finish it off. Bunch of nukes. I think I'm planning to make a video actually in the future about fighters and gunships. Like roles that their backline actually has. That'll be a separate video later on. But you could do a bunch of nukes, lol cannon, T3 units, yeah, all that fun jazzy stuff. Yeah, that's it. That's about it. Like, subscribe, cool. I'm gonna go drink dirtbag drunk or something. I don't know. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna get dirtbag drunk. Maybe, I don't know. But I'm definitely gonna have hamburgers. That's darn for sure. I'm gonna have hamburgers. All right. Adios. Oh, don't mind my hair. It's a little crazy. Got like dreads sticking up, locks, a little greasy. I'm like, yeah. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. So that's when I decided, okay, we need a break. We need a turn. Go ahead and switch over to it, shall we? As you can see, I'm actually in the game here at the bottom. But first things first, gotta do introductions, right? And over for the blue team, we have Krogothics at a skill rating of 21. Not bad. And then we have the same thing over on my team here, the red team, essentially, with a skill rating of 21 as well. And we're just gonna speed along here because pretty much the role of the backline is a late game, straight late game. And for me myself, I'm trying to do air. Well, a mix of air / eco a little bit. Like, I know the general idea of what I'm aiming to do, but I was still taking far too long. Because if we go and look at my air counterpart on the blue team over here, Godly Creed, he has actually, I would say, is getting energy better, or at least using his resources more efficiently than I was, getting air units out as soon as possible, and even stopping my team player, FBots 1998 cheeky little play to just kind of slow down Aquak and Bare Metal, who are just pushing through on this side. And as we could see, The battle line is quite strange, actually. And now with Bare Metal pushing quite heavy, going for an early rush on a Ghost Dragon 5, who thankfully is able to hold. And FBots 1998 actually did lose quite a bit. Oh, he lost the whole thing. I didn't know he did that. Yeah, Bare Metal just went and took all of those resources. That's going to be a pretty big advantage. I mean, look at that. He's just kind of sitting on metal now. Metal and energy, actually. And as you can see, we are already 14 minutes in. I still haven't made anything for air at all. Wow. Godly Creed pretty much has the air wall started. I mean, this could have went so poorly if he built bombers instead and just went for an early bomber rush. Could ended the game completely there, especially with the push Bare Metal and Aquawalk did on this side coming down here. But thankfully, team's able to hold, and luck was on our side this game. Luck was definitely on our side. And as we could see, Mizukage amassed a pretty good number of troops, along with F Blimbo and Brand Time. Shockingly enough, Knight Sparko is actually kind of doing the same thing Bare Metal was, in which they are kind of just spamming out some units, getting that going, helping out the front line here. Let's go ahead and change our angle a little bit. And it seems like Brand Time and Mizukage are actually going for a nice solid push here. And then we got Prono Coffee coming in with the sniper boss. Those are pretty strong units there. Yeah, if I remember correctly, yep, they definitely kind of, it's definitely a push from the red team, but together, Snipe 22 and Prone Coffee are actually able to make somewhat of a defensive line right here with just a crap ton of sniper bots and just slowly push them back, while this whole section here is kind of like a big gap, real big gap here. There we go. Kind of making a nice solid defensive, while Bare Metal is mostly doing the work when it comes to actually being the front line, even though he's supposed to be in the back line here. Now let's see. We are 20 minutes in and I finally have an air wall going. It took a little while, but we finally got there. Along with Bare Metal doing a solid push with a bunch of spider bots. And once again, everyone's just kind of amassing their troops, getting that together. Backline here, scaling up, trying to get something going, something nice. And my focus was mainly just constructors, getting as many as I can, so I can finally get my units pumping out and to get my first APHIS. Oh, not my first, my second one, thankfully. But it did take almost 20 minutes to get my first APHIS. That's double the time it should take to get one, which really isn't all that great. Thankfully, when it comes to my counterpart over here, they probably have advanced energy converters. Way less energy and power than I do, but they're being able to use their resources more efficiently, which does have its advantage as well, as they have much more fighters in the air. I would say just much more things going on for them whenever it comes to like shurikens. Oh, wasp gunships. Oh, and as we can see here, a nice solid little battle going on between sniper bots and the spam and a little bit of artillery. I wouldn't quite say the front was broken, especially since Lively over here coming in with his own T1 spam. Knight's Bro actually made a nice defensive line going across this way, which is pretty nice. Now, I finally did make a nuke, and as you'll see why I said the late game, definitely all about the backline. Definitely something to look into if you're wanting to give it a go. Because when it comes to the backline, as we get 30 minutes into the game, you should definitely have your anti-nukes. You really don't need wind turbines anymore. You could have been gotten rid of this. Well, I could have been gotten rid of this one by one, just get my metal back. Resources, as you can see, I'm really breaking that breakneck on how much metal I have and how much I'm using. Now, thankfully, I did build a nuke. That will come in handy later, as you'll see. Now, most players have their APHIS going. APHIS's Prone Coffee, doing pretty good on that. He's got 3 of them. Bare Metal, still mostly focused on units, not so much energy, but he does have 2 fusions, so that's pretty nice. Oh. And it seems like Snipped is actually going for their nukes as it is right now. Mostly targeting the front line, trying to make a push with Prone Coffee and Lively's troops, but it's just not working. If Krogothics actually came forward, even if it was just tier 1 and it was just spam, it would be quite helpful. I think that probably would have been what they needed to break through, but of course I had my gunships kind of helping while they was on patrol. I had a nice mix. I wasn't sure exactly what to go for when it came. I was kind of just making anything, like constructors, fighters, gunships. I think I started to make bombers a little bit afterwards. Yeah, 1 bomber every 5 to 10 or so. Did I make bombers on this one? No, nope, just more fighters and gunships. I was like, okay, I'll just hold. We're doing pretty good for the most part. Nothing serious, not crazy is going on. And it seems like only nukes from, what was it? Snipe 22? Sniped 222. He was the only one actually just kind of throwing nukes to the front line. I was surprised he didn't throw nukes at anything else. And at this point, I kind of realized that it's a little bit of a stalemate, or at least somewhat of a waiting game where no one's really like pushing too hard. Everyone's kind of just waiting. As you can see, my team here just amassing troops and then continuously getting nuked over and over again. So that's when I decided, okay, we need a break. We need a turning point. And this is something you can only do when you're a backline player, because you have the most resources and the most time to actually sit in and do this kind of thing to focus on. Where I was building a Ragnarok. Now, I'll admit, it's my first time building a Ragnarok, so I was like, okay, we'll just see how this goes. Seems like it might be fun. And yeah. Another perk of being a backline is that not only should you have anti-nuke, but you also get to have the fun of it. Now, during the game, I didn't realize I actually completely took out the left side here. I mean, if I would have known that, I would have told him to push further. I mean, they was already pushing, but yeah, I done took out Bare Metal completely in one go because he was not prepared. You got to be prepared, especially later in the game. I mean, anti-nuke should be all around, continuously. Everyone, it should be completely covered in anti-nukes. There should be no reason why you don't have them. Godly Kree actually is trying to do a little bit of a hold, trying to do both. Air wall, focus on air, but also was that T3 mantises? Yeah, that's not something you can really do too well when not mantises, sorry, razorbacks. When you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, it's just you. You see your team's getting spammed out. You know that the enemy does have air. He's not going to be able to do too much, and he does have dragons, which are pretty nice. Now this is a little bit of an older match, but I think the new one, they actually spit like straight fire. They would make them sound like a rapper or something, but they actually shoot fire out in the later one, I think, so that'll be good for the future videos. Get to see him actually do that. But soon, as you can see, yeah, ghost fire going for air now, and these dragons aren't going to be alive too much longer. Now, over here on the right side, it is just a crazy battle going on, just complete annihilation and attack of everyone. But thankfully, I got my Ragnarok going. So to break this stalemate and me trying to figure out how to actually use it, I actually just started targeting the troops, and just whittle them down. I mean, the game's pretty much over at this rate. It was just a matter of time to actually, yeah, go ahead and bump up the speed. Yeah, at this point it was just more of a slugfest to finish the game, if anything. As you can see, dragons are just getting hunted down as well. But it wouldn't be possible without the luxury of the backline being able to scale up and be able just to really just throw everything at the end of me by this point. Yeah, as you can see here, Ragnarok was the best way to actually finish this game off. I feel like it actually gave my team a little bit of the advantage, or maybe the motivation they needed to just finish it off completely. And thankfully they did resign in the end. But just in case anyone's like me who hasn't actually used it before, there's actually a really faint line that kind of comes up whenever you scroll over an enemy or have a building. That red line right there, if you actually try to target outside of that line, the Ragnarok won't fire, like at all. It'll just kind of just look at you. And Bran over here just kind of chilling with some troops, getting some nice vision. Yep, coming this way, finishing off Godly Kree, who is actually trying to get a D-gun. Is he gonna do it? And he successfully gets the D-gun. His commander survives a little longer, but not too much. Oh, finishing off some buildings over there. And finally, is that the resignation? Nope, not yet. They're holding a little longer. Just kind of playing it out. Why not? Finish up the game on a strong note. Yep, and there we go, finally. Big old chain reaction and resigns all around. Alright, but that just... yeah, as you can see in the back line there, it really just kind of came down to who was ready, who had the nukes, who was willing to break the tie in the front, because the front line's job is mainly to hold the line. I mean, do some serious damage so they could get leaks and take up to tier 2 if they can with the sniper bots, as you saw, to really hold the waves of just tier 1 spam coming in. But the back line, straight take tier 3s. You can really do a lot of damage with like I use the Ragnarok, but you can go in with the Razorbacks as they tried to do, but it was far too late by that point. Godly Kree can't just he wasn't as you saw, Godly Kree couldn't do both air troops and tech 3 troops, and by the time he did with all the construction turrets, it was far too late. There was just nothing he could do, and the game was just a matter of finishing up, getting to see robots fight each other and, well, explode. And that there's going to wrap things up. All you have to do is go down below, hit the subscribe button. Why not? There's over 90% of you watching, but yet have not subscribed, so go ahead and do that real quick. And with that, we're going to head on out.